Rachel Zegler is extraordinarily woke, but she's woke in a way that's quite deranged.
Rachel is literally the star of a Disney movie, and she acts like she's some sort of victim, and that's the sort of mentality that is just poisoning people's minds. Like, she acts like her life is so bad.
If you disagree with this sentiment, I don't need your business. Thanks.
Okay, so what if I told you that the star of Disney's most expensive live-action remake just ghosted Hollywood, vanished into thin air, and may now be hiding out in Dubai while the Mouse House demands millions back? Yeah, not a fairy tale ending, huh? Because just months ago, Rachel Zegler was on top of the world, booked, busy, and branded as Disney's new it girl. But fast forward to now, her socials are wiped. Her publicist is MIA.
Alex, what has been the reaction to Disney's latest expensive own goal?
Well, the reaction has been absolutely horrible. It is the worst box office from a Disney live action remake that they've ever done.
And insiders claim Disney is this close to suing her over a morality clause breach and major financial damages. So what really went down behind the scenes of the Snow White disaster? And did Rachel's own words single-handedly destroy a $250 million movie and possibly her entire career? Let's break it down, because trust me, this story isn't just messy, it's scorched earth. Let's rewind to when everything seemed magical. Rachel Zegler had Hollywood eating out of the palm of her hand. After stealing hearts in West Side Story, she landed the lead in Disney's live-action Snow White, a role that once would have made an actress a household name overnight. Disney had high hopes. We're talking $250 million pumped into this movie with global marketing, costume redesigns, and some seriously bold reimaginings of the 1937 classic. But what nobody saw coming? The press tour would become the real horror show.
Experience that a person can go through to know that what they're working on is something that has reached a generation of people. You know, this is a classic film that established the Disney name, and now I'm a part of that legacy to some degree. It's not something I take lightly, and it's just the most emotional experience to see little girls dress up as Snow White, and I hope that they will for years to come.
Instead of celebrating the legacy of Snow White, Rachel openly dragged it. She called Prince Charming a stalker, slammed the original film as outdated and problematic, and basically threw Disney's golden era magic under the bus, all while sitting on Disney's payroll. Interviews that were supposed to hype the movie quickly went viral for all the wrong reasons.
Why are you crying?
Oh my gosh, I saw the well, we didn't even see, but I saw the logo and I went, that's my name, Snow White's up there, and I cried my eyes out.
Fans weren't just disappointed, they were furious. And Disney? They were spiraling into panic mode. Behind the scenes, Disney execs were reportedly fuming. According to insiders, there was an emergency meeting at Disney HQ after Rachel's interviews exploded online. Legal teams started whispering terms like morality clause, contract breach, and, get this, reimbursement liability. Yup, Disney was actually reviewing whether Rachel's behavior had legally harmed the film enough to demand a chunk of her salary back. Now, if you didn't know, major studios often include clauses in actor contracts that allow them to penalize stars whose public behavior damages a film's performance. It's rare to invoke, but not unheard of. And with Snow White crashing and burning at the box office, every dollar counts. The movie didn't just underperform, it straight up flopped. Domestic earnings barely scraped past $45 million, and international markets didn't help either. The whole thing was a PR and financial disaster, and Zegler's public image had become the face of that failure. And just when you'd expect her to go into damage control mode, Rachel Zegler disappeared. Like, no interviews, no social posts, no statements, nothing. Then came the twist.
What would you say to those who are just kind of overly critiquing the film at this point? You've worked so hard on it.
Get darn across. Hold on. Here. Hold on.
All right. Congrats, Rachel.
Reports started surfacing that Rachel had hopped on a flight to Dubai, just gone. Hollywood insiders began whispering that her team was advising her to lay low amid legal talks. But fans weren't buying the mental health break excuse. Internet sleuths pointed out that Rachel had scrubbed several posts from her Instagram and Twitter, especially the ones related to Snow White. Her appearance calendar completely cleared. Even red carpet invites she was expected to attend canceled. It was starting to feel less like a break and more like a strategic escape. And with rumors flying that Disney was preparing legal action, her timing was suspiciously perfect. Now, let's talk about that infamous apology post. Remember the one Rachel put out after the backlash got nuclear? Well, Sources say she didn't even write it. Yup. According to an anonymous PR insider, that Instagram post was a pre-written statement handed to her by Disney's crisis team. It was cold, robotic, and totally lacked the "I'm genuinely sorry" energy fans were looking for. And in today's internet culture, if your apology sounds like a PR stunt, you're done. Instead of fixing the mess, the apology only made things worse. Viewers saw right through it. It was a classic case of say something before the lawyers get involved. And after that, she was completely silent. At this point, the Snow White disaster wasn't just a Rachel Zegler issue. It was a full-on Disney crisis. Execs were reportedly pointing fingers. Was it the marketing team's fault, the script, or was it Zegler's attitude that doomed the whole thing? Many Disney loyalists felt betrayed. The film was marketed as a modern, empowering reboot, but in trying to distance itself from the original charm, it lost its soul. Audiences felt the coldness, and critics did too. Rotten Tomatoes scores were brutal, and fan hashtags like "Nar boycott Snow White" and "fire Rachel Zegler" were trending for weeks. And now insiders say Disney is doing a massive reevaluation of their live-action remake strategy. No more blind trust in Gen Z stars, no more modern for modern's sake, because when a project tanks this hard, everyone starts watching their backs. Fans were not kind. Not only were they furious over Rachel's comments, but old tweets and political jabs resurfaced, further dividing the fan base. In a franchise that depends on universal appeal, families, kids, conservatives, liberals, this was a nightmare scenario. The idea that a Disney princess was now considered polarizing? Yes, not a good look. Some even accused Zegler of sabotaging the film on purpose. Others believed she was just too young, too unfiltered, and didn't understand the weight of the brand she was representing.
What was it like seeing yourself for the first time in full Snow White drag?
I love that description. It's perfect. Oh my God. Well, when you get to wear Sandy Powell, first of all, insane. And then you get to be lit by Mandy Walker and Nadia Stacey designed your hair and makeup. It's like the most incredible thing in the world. And then all of a sudden you open your eyes and you watch the playback, which I never do.
Whatever the truth, the result was the same. Fans turned on her hard. Her once adoring base became her biggest critics. And Disney? They watched in horror as their $250 million investment crashed into a wall of bad press and public outrage. So where do we go from here? Well, the latest whispers from inside the Mouse House suggest Disney still hasn't ruled out legal action. Apparently, there's serious talk of demanding a partial repayment of her salary. If they move forward, it could be a precedent-setting case in Hollywood, where public image, press behavior, and financial accountability all collide. Meanwhile, lawyers close to Rachel are reportedly advising her to stay out of the spotlight until the dust settles. That means no talk shows, no red carpets, no podcast confessions, just silence. And let's be real, that silence is deafening. Even Rachel's inner circle is in chaos. Sources say her team is divided. One group wants her to go full redemption arc, emotional interviews, a tearful docuseries, maybe even a rebranding campaign. The other, telling her to vanish until people forget this ever happened. But here's the kicker. People aren't forgetting. The longer she stays gone, the more theories pile up. Some think she's having a mental health crisis. Others believe she's regrouping for a major comeback. A few even think she's just done with Hollywood altogether. But whether she likes it or not, her name is now tied to one of Disney's most expensive flops ever. So, what happens next? Will Rachel Zegler make a powerful comeback, own up to her missteps, and repair her reputation? Or is this the slow fade out of a once promising starlet who flew too close to the spotlight? Will Disney really go after her paycheck? Or will they let her walk away and quietly shelve the film as a cautionary tale? Right now, the silence from both sides is louder than any press conference. And while fans keep asking, "Where's Rachel?" Disney's boardroom is probably asking, "Who approved this casting in the first place?" One thing's clear, this story isn't over. In fact, it might just be getting started. So, what do you think? Is Rachel Zegler dodging legal bullets or just taking a breather from the storm? Is Disney being too harsh? Or is this what happens when PR disasters collide with billion-dollar brands? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because this tea is scalding and we are not done sipping. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell, because you already know the next twist in this saga is going to be wild. Until then, stay shady, stay curious, and stay tuned.